Greetings from Christian News and Interviews. I was going to have a live today, but I just can't pull it together. I just don't have time to do a live. Too much going on. So I'm going to have this discussion pre-recorded. Okay. So what I want to talk about today is the fact that our world is on demon time. Our world has literally fallen apart. Crime is not even making sense. You know, the Bible says that the Apostle Paul said that there'll come a time when people will make up sins. They'll just create sins out of their imagination, stuff that you never even imagined, and it's here. There are all kinds of crimes, all kinds of sins going on. And it's not just adults. People are hurting toddlers. I mean, it has gotten crazy. Let's start with just a little bit of background here. America is having a violence wave, not a crime wave. And I will agree with that there's a violence wave going on in America and beyond. A historic rise in homicides in 2020 and continued bloodshed in 21 has incited fears that after years of plummeting crime rates, the United States could be headed back to the bad old days when a crime wave gripped the country from the 70s to the 90s. The FBI's Uniform Crime Report for 2020 released Monday suggests something stranger. Perhaps America is in the midst of what is specifically a violence wave, not a broad crime wave. Even as violent crimes rose, led by significant jumps in murders and aggravated assaults, property crime continued a years-long decline. Okay, so hold on to that thought. There's a violence wave going on, not a crime wave. Well, I mean, you can argue one way or the other. The long and the short of it is, it's dangerous out there. So whether you call it a violence wave, a crime wave, a homicide wave, whatever you want to call this thing, it is scary out there. In the natural realm, carjackings, stray bullets, purse snatchings, it is crazy out there. Now, I just arbitrarily pulled up some states, some states and some crime types. So for example, I typed in toddlers killed in Chicago. Look at this. July 2020, 4 toddlers shot into Chicago amid surge in gun violence. Did you hear me? 4. Have you heard of that? Have you heard that? Have you heard about those 4 toddlers on MSNBC? Have you heard about those 4 toddlers on CNN? Why? Why haven't you heard about those 4 toddlers? 4 toddlers. We're talking about a toddler is a 2 or 3-year-old shot in Chicago. Can someone explain to me why this hasn't made national news? This alone should be making national news. See, this is where I'm getting at. We can't solve the problem if we don't want to look at the whole issue around the problem. It appears that the only time we can hear about a crime is when it's a police officer who has shot a Black person or beat up a Black person. That's the only time you hear about it. But when it comes to something like this, 4 toddlers, to me, that should be making national news. Child killed. 2 children died on the scene and 4 others were taken to the hospital. This is Chicago. 10-year-old girl and a toddler were killed in Chicago. And I could go on and on and on. 4-year-old girl killed in accidental shooting in Inglewood. That's Chicago. 7-year-old killed as shootings rocked 3 major cities. We're talking about Chicago. Okay? But it's not just Chicago. Let's move over here to Venice, California. The famed boardwalk in Venice, California has reportedly turned into a large, dangerous homeless encampment, according to fed-up residents who are calling for action amid a series of crimes and drug use in the area. The LA neighborhood, site of the free-spirited boardwalk, frequented by colorful street performers, entertaining visitors, strolling by funky stores, has been hit with a spate of violent incidents. On April the 28th, a man survived a shooting at the coastal hotspot known for its bohemian spirit. Residents and merchants are dismayed over the recent incidents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's going worse. Let's see here. Anything else about this? So this is Venice, California. Look at this, tent city. People using the bathroom on the street. Oh, people being attacked. During the pandemic, almost 200 tents have been erected on the boardwalk, according to a letter signed by hundreds of residents. They have destroyed Venice. Seniors who live on or near the boardwalk are terrified of walking in their own neighborhoods. I bet they are. If they know it's good for them, they better sell that house and get up out of Dodge. Look at this. Look. People trying to pretend that life is normal. You see these 2 bike riders? They're riding past filth, danger. People defecating and urinating on the beach. They're driving past this on their bikes as though they can't see that something's wrong. It's just like in Chicago and Detroit and other big cities where you don't hear about crime against toddlers and infants. You only hear about the crime if there is a police officer killing a Black man. That's the only time you hear about crime in places like that. People are in denial. How can you fix the problem if no one wants to admit that there is one? So these 2 are just riding their bikes as though they don't see all this urine and filth. Two more, holding on to their little surfboards as though they don't see the filth and the degradation that's right there in their faces. Here's another little bike rider. Are these people in an alternate universe? What's up with these people? Are they in an alternate universe? Okay, so that's Venice, California. And as you can see, California has become a big, giant size roach motel. Ugh. It's California, it's just filthy. Okay, so here we go. America's teen killers are on the rise and getting younger. So here we go. America's teen killers are on the rise and getting younger. The whole society seems baffled by this perplexing cultural truism. Well, as I said, we're on demon time now. So there's no end to what you'll see. Of course, the teenagers are getting younger and younger. Although it is ever present, this isn't just inner city violence. And I'm not just sounding the alarm on murders committed by teens. I'm sounding the alarm on a growing number of murders being committed by young teens, 15 and under. Increasingly, homicides are being committed by children who are too young to even get a driver's license. Killers under 15 have increased by nearly 17%. Look at some of these headlines, everybody. These are authentic headlines. Denver police arrest 3 teens for house fire that killed 5 people. 4 young girls, 12 to 14, arrested after 15-year-old fatally stabbed in a Walmart brawl. brawl. Indianapolis police arrest juvenile suspect in mass murder that killed 6. Florida teen receives 45-year sentence for strangling mother to death during an argument. Prosecutors charge teen father with shooting newborn, hiding the body in snow. Texas teen 15 charged with murder after beating mother to death. And it goes on and on and on. Those of you who are Christians, you know that all of this is predicted in the Bible. All of this is predicted. Demon time. And people in denial. Here's Baltimore. I typed in mentally ill person killed in Baltimore because just curious as to how the mentally ill are making out in this weird environment that we're in. Here's some headlines. A Woodlawn man's erratic behavior worried neighbors. Needless to say, he ended up being killed. Shooting of man by Baltimore police highlights total failure. So what are the police supposed to? Police don't know what to do with these people who are coming after them with sticks and stones and knives and swords. I mean, the police don't know what to do with these people. Baltimore police cuffed, stunned, and shot people in mental health crises. Well, Baltimore police are known for being cruel and they need to be retrained. So, but this is not all the police's fault though. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Police don't have the right to abuse anyone, but keep in mind that some of these mentally ill people need to be in an institution, but they're on the streets and they're terrorizing people. Whew. Day after the elderly man was killed and firebombed in a home, suspicious fire breaks out at a neighbor's home. Well, this happened in Detroit. A 93-year-old man and his 62-year-old son were shot and firebombed. Then they found out that it was a mistake. They had the wrong house. They didn't mean to kill that 93-year-old man and his 62-year-old son. Whew. Which returns me back to my original headline, America's having a violence wave, not a crime wave. And I'll end by saying this. I don't care if you call it a violence wave, crime wave, a rape wave, a shooting wave, a homicide wave. I don't care what you call it. We're all being impacted by it. And it seems to be getting worse instead of better. Stay tuned.